I, Monica Bhatia, on behalf of DLDAV Shalimar Bagh School and our principal, Ms. Reena Rajpal, welcome you all to yet another insightful session of Infinitum Education Fair 2020. Dear students, design creates culture, culture shapes values, and values determine the future. Today we have an esteemed counselor from design industry, Ms. Meenakshi Popli. Now, Navya Kapoor of class 10th present floral greetings to our guest. Flowers are virtual, but our feelings are real, ma'am.
Thank you. That's so sweet. And it
Now
looks
I
like
would
as if
like
you're
to
right there.
now I would like to call Ojasvi to introduce our guest.
Now I would just be of class 10th P would like to introduce Meenakshi Popli ma'am. With a team of professional designers, teachers and mentors, Meenakshi ma'am is the director of TRENDZ Academy. She earned her degree in commerce from Hansraj College, Delhi University. She is a strong believer in guiding and counseling the students, enabling them to crack the entrance exams of premier design, art, and architecture institutes. Trends is an initiative of team of NIFT and NIT designers who came back together 14 years back to help a budding mind understand the mind is required to become a designer, artist, and architecture.
Thank you,
Thank,
Ojasvi.
thank you, Jasvi.
Now stage is all yours, ma'am. Meenakshi ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Uh, I would start with my session now, and we'll just give me a moment and let me start with the presentation also.
Yes.
Ma'am, are you able to see the presentation?
Yes.
Great. So, students, I believe you all are in grade 9th and 10th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the right time when you start exploring as to what really you really want to do, what excites you, and that's the reason why school has introduced the career carnival at the right time for you so that you can pick up your subjects accordingly in your grade 11th also. I'm here with all about careers in design. And for design, let's clear up. You can be from any stream, any career, any board. The idea for design is that students from any stream they can pick up the zone and what they really want to make their career shape in. Though we would always advise students to pick up the stream that is most comfortable for them to do. The reason is you can spend some time to improve yourself, you improve your skills, improve your creative concepts, improve your art skills. That will actually help you in in cracking these institutes exam. So when we are thinking about careers in design, the premium institutes that we have here with us NIFT, that's National Institute of Fashion Technology, and then we have NID, that's National Institute of Design, and we have IIT, that's Indian Institute of Technology. How many students were aware about IIT offering design course? Do we have any student here? The answer could be yes or no.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Right. So IIT also offers design, and they had been doing this past many ages. But that time, the entrance used to be through the normal JEE exams, and IIT Guwahati was running the design courses, and they were offering product and digital design courses. But then 5 years back, an exam was introduced that was called UCET, that's Undergraduate Common Entrance Exam for Design, and through which The students can join IIT design courses and which got introduced in other IIT centers also, like Bombay, Jabalpur, Hyderabad. Though IIT Guwahati, they said that we would be taking up the UC score, but we still want science stream students. So even if you don't have science, you can still get into IIT courses for design apart from the Guwahati Center. Let's talk about NIFT first because that is one institute that everybody is aware of. I hope everyone here is aware about NIFT. That should be a big yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So when we are looking into NIFT, the oldest center is the New Delhi center, and gradually more centers they have been coming up, and now we have the 17th center also launched, that is there in Chandigarh, Mohali. The list of the centers is put up here. When we talk about the NIFT courses, we have the NIFT Bachelor course in Design and a Bachelor's in Fashion Technology. So when we say Bachelor's in Design course, the Bachelor in Design course offers you programs like fashion design, leather design, accessory design, textile design. You've got knitwear and you've got fashion communication. So all these courses are offered, and students from any stream they can actually sit in for the NIFT exam. When we are looking into the another program, that's Bachelor's in Fashion Technology, that offers apparel production. So when we say apparel production, this is how the factories are run, how the garments are produced. Now for this course you need to be from science stream, though for bachelor's in design, students from any stream, any recognized board, they can sit in for the paper. The examination pattern that we have is that for bachelor design, you've got a general ability test and a creative ability test in the first round of exam. The applications are always released in the month of November, and they are available till 31st December every year, so you don't miss a chance to fill these forms. And the January paper has this general ability and the creative ability test, followed by a situation test that would be post your board exams somewhere in the month of May, and that weightage is given situation test. I would be covering all these parts also as to what is there in GAT, that's general ability, and what's there in CAT, that's creative ability. And then you have a BF Tech program, that's a general ability test, again here asked, and you don't have anything else asked in this exam. Masters, I'll skip because I believe everyone here is in grade 9, 10th. You have to do your undergrads first and then look for the master's program. So coming to the detail of the general ability test, so that comprises of quantitative ability, communication ability, English comprehension, analytical ability, general knowledge, and current affairs. So it's a 2-hour paper where you get 100 questions, and normally it is 25 from each part, 25 from maths, 25 from English, 25 for logic, 25 for GK. But then there are certain years where they have given more weightage to English. So English is all about your comprehension passage. You have your English grammar also asked there. And the vocabulary part, the word power is very strongly asked. So that varies from synonyms to antonyms to singular, plural, one word substitute, idioms, phrases, and even spell check is there. Now coming to the maths part. So there are a lot of creative kids. We see that they're very scared of maths. So even if you are planning to take up, say, humanities as a stream or commerce without maths, so don't feel afraid that you'll not be able to prepare for the NIFT maths part, because here the maths part is what you have done from grade 5th to 8th. So your topics like HCF, LCM, ages, averages, percentage, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest, all these things are asked. And basically this is something that is asked in all competitive exam. The content might vary because some competitive exam might just have English, some might have English and maths together, some might have English and GK together, some might have English and logical together. So when we say logical, that's the analytical ability. So here, just going through the question, you should be able to interpret and come up with a logic and give a solution. So there is no formulas attached like maths. Have you ever gone through the analytical based questions ever in your school exams?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you give me an example for that?
Ma'am, and in analytical based question, there is like a coding, decoding, and symbol based.
Very good. I was not expecting the answer. Let me be very honest, but that's very nice. So that
Emojis.
means, yeah,
Verbal and non-verbal.
very good. Verbal and non-verbal. So when we say verbal, that means a question would be typed. When we say non-verbal, it means it is more of on the basis of symbols and images that are given, and you have to interpret
And
through that.
analogy.
Analogy is also there. Very good. Very nice. So I believe your school is doing really very good work in keeping you apt with the things that you should be aware of, because a lot of schools they don't have this part. So where the students are clueless because this doesn't fall into our academic curriculum at all. Then we talk about general knowledge and current affairs here. So the general knowledge is something that they expect the student should be aware of. So that could come even from history. So if you have gone through your history content book, there were case incidents like Quit India movement, Swaraj movement, salt march. So the questions can come from all these areas also. They can come from our freedom struggle fighters, their the sayings that they were famous for. Can you recollect any of the sayings of any of our freedom fighter? Say Subhash
May I
Chandra
answer?
Bose. Our freedom fighters had their sayings, and they are known for that.
तुम मुझे खून
So
दो मैं तुम्हें आजादी दूंगा
very good. Yes, that was the saying. So you
इनकलाब
can,
जिंदाबाद
yeah. So you
चलो
can
दिल्ली
have questions like these also. And then your basic awareness about Indian art, culture, embroidery, like from which state chicken curry is famous for. The question could be asked like that. So are you aware about that?
Yes.
Yes, girls I think would be more. Boys, if they are not giving attention to what their moms are wearing, they might not be aware of what chicken curry is. So that's a beautiful embroidery of Lucknow. So you can have, so when we say general knowledge, so the general knowledge varies from the India's geographical to the political to our Indian constitution to our national symbols. So you can expect questions from any area. And when they say current affairs, that means something that has happened in the year. And that is so significant, like COVID, that's happened in the year. So from which part of country it's originated, which city it originated, or we have our Republic Day parade. So who's being invited for that? So you can expect questions from these kinds also. Or some Indian who has been given a highest order award, say a Nobel Prize, or it could be a Magsaysay Award. You can expect questions from those areas also. Then we talk about creative ability test. Now the creative ability test is administered to judge the intuition skills, your power of observation, your innovation and development of a concept, and design ability of the candidate. And the important aspect of the test is the creative and the innovative medium use of color and illustration skills. So when we look into the NIFT CAT paper, it's a 3-hour paper and you get only 3 questions. And these 3 questions have to be completed up in 3 hours time. So where I would say you have ample time for the NIFT paper, because in 3 hours the one of the question is on your observation skills. Now this observation question, long time back, say 10 years back, they were asking questions on how to make a roadside dhaba, or how to make a tea stall, or how to make a classroom scene. So you have to depict all the things. So they were not looking at how good you are in your drawing skills, but they're looking at have you captured the details of that particular place. So when we are talking about dhaba, what details do you feel are very important there in the dhaba? Have you been to a dhaba ever, on a highway
Yes.
maybe?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So dhaba, something very strongly that you can connect with the dhaba is One of the thing could be a big banner of Pepsi or a Coke that's always there. You'll never find a banner of Zara there, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so the banners you'll find would always be of the Coke or any of the beverages there. Then coming to the big patilas that are put up there, whether they have food or not, we really don't know. But yes, they are always there. Then you have tandoor there, the way the sitting plan is there. So they're looking at all these kind of details in the question. Then gradually the observation style of question it shifted to where the questions they were asked on, say, how to make a process of making a Maggie in 5 steps. Sounds very simple, right? Everybody knows how to make a Maggie. But then the problem what happened was our whole Maggie was made, but we just forgot that we have to show that we have to switch on the gas. So in these kind of processes, these are not very difficult questions. They are looking at again your observation skills, that you are following the things in a particular order. That is what is required. Now, this year, the question was on the observation, they are checking up on your proportion skill. So, a motorbike was drawn, and there was an option of drawing a human, or you could draw an animal along, or a child along. So, again, you have to just visualize that if a size of the motorbike is so, that how would be a human next to it. Now, these questions are more of being different also. So, where I would say that even if somebody is very clear with proportion, you have to add something interesting into your question that will make your drawing look very different from the lakhs of papers that the invigilators would be going through. So that's something you have to always take care. Like one of the student, she drew two monkeys. So there was one driving the bike and the other one sitting along. So a very different thought, and yes, her score was good. So these little ideas, they are able to get you a better score. The second question there is always on design, be it designing a poster or a stamp or a logo or a banner or any product. So that kind of design based questions are coming, or maybe a comic strip can be asked. The third question is on elements and principles of design and color theory. So here it could be, how can you depict happiness using lines, or sorrow using circles, or depict festival using colors. So elements, principles, and color theory. This is the foundation of all design school syllabus, and where in your foundation you are actually taught these principles also. Then we are coming to situation test. So once you are cleared with the first round, then you are called in for the second stage. That's situation test. So the situation test score is very important because it's a 20% score, and that it actually has a good impact on your rank. But your final selection is always decided in your first level score, because that's 80%. So if your 80% score is good, then these 20% will actually give you a good booster of your rank. So situation test is where you have to create a 3D model, and you're given a set of material pack, and all the students, they get the same material pack, and a same set of questions are given. So how innovatively you are using your material pack, what is your concept behind, that is what they are checking in the situation test. And you have to complete up everything in 2 hours time. So your craft skills, so the students, those who are fond of origami or they like to make structures, that actually helps a lot in the situation test exam. Then we are coming to NID, which has 5 centers across India. Ahmedabad is the oldest center. The next that started was Vijayawada and Kurukshetra, and now they are there at Bhopal and Jorhat also. Jorhat is in Assam. The courses that NID is offering, they have a course on communication design where you can specialize in animation, film, exhibition, film and video communication, and graphic design. They have a course on industrial design where you've got course like ceramic and glass design, furniture and interior, and product design. The next course that they have is textile, apparel, lifestyle, and accessory design, where you can specialize in textile design also. So a lot of students, they feel that NID doesn't offer fashion design because they call their course as apparel design. So they are teaching you how to make garments. They could be used in anywhere. Then we have the admission procedure for NID. So where again the form filling time is around same time, October, November, but they are not available for a very long time like NIFT. So one has to be really quick in applying for NID. And the 12th grade appearing students, they can sit for the NID exam. And there would be two stages. Your January paper is called a design aptitude test. That means the weightage for that paper is only 30%. And once you clear this, then you are called in for the DAT mains, which was earlier called as studio test. And a lot of students, they still talk about this paper as studio test only. And that gives you a 70% weightage. That's the NID. And then we have IIT, which has their centers at Bombay, Guwahati, Jabalpur, and Hyderabad. The courses offered at NID, they are industrial design, visual communication, product design, vehicle and automobile design. The admission process again is same, that 12th appearing students from any stream, they can sit in for this exam. But yes, the Guwahati center, though they take the USEED score, but they take only science stream students. The paper pattern. Now, IIT USEED paper is actually on a, I would say, a higher level side, because over there they are not checking up on your art skills or your creative skills majorly. The major focus is on your analytical bent of mind, and the level of difficulty of these questions are also high. And the paper is divided into 3 sections. It's a computer based test. You're getting 3 hours to complete up. So in the section 1, you have a numerical answer type. The section B has multiple select questions, and the section C goes multiple choice questions. And followed by this is a one drawing based questions also. And that is only for 30 minutes that you get. So when we say what is trends, I would say trends is all about you, because our idea is that every child should be aware about on their thoughts, their skills, what they are good at, and you should start thinking about it at a right time. So for design, there are a lot of times students have myth, and that's the reason why in these workshops we tend to clear that you really don't need to be an artist to get into design, and you just have to be creative. And I personally feel all kids are creative. While you were young and while you were holding a spoon, you would not just use the spoon to eat. What else were you doing with the spoon? Anybody would like to answer that? Can you go back and visualize yourself while you were there in a, say, a 4-year-old toddler or a 5-year-old toddler? They would be playing with the spoon. You would use it as a flying saucer. It would be your car. So you were always exploring the things that are there. So that is what the creative mindset is. Start exploring the things again, because you would be banging. Somebody who was very musical would be banging that spoon also a lot. That sound be very musical to the child, but then yes, the adults were getting offended. So it was told very clearly that this is for eating, not for banging. So you have to come up again and explore the things around. That's what would help you to be a good designer. Now, the kind of programs that we offer, we have a classroom program, which because of COVID lockdown is an online live classes now that's going on. We have a postal program where we send the study material, and we have an online e-learning program. Now, in the online e-learning program, the whole course syllabus is put up as an online e-books. So you're able to go through the books. You are able to go through the videos also there on each subject. And you have mock test series also that helps you prepare for this. So if you look into broadly as to what all are the areas that you have to prepare for these exams, they vary from drawing to creative to English to maths. And in our live classes, we are basically trying that everybody learns through this new way to learn online, and they are a transition from our traditional classroom and deliver an engaging educational experience to the students. And where each class we are planning very carefully. The idea is that end of the day, a set assignments are also the student should be able to solve them also. So when, and you can always check out our live classes recordings at our website. We are coming up with a new website and it is being updated soon. So maybe in few hours you'll be able to see the fresh look of our website. The online e-learning, as I told you, we were the first institute because we started online e-learning way back in 2013. So where everything was there on your PC and at a very affordable price. You can go through the online e-learning content anytime, anywhere, because it's just had to be logged in through a user ID, and you could access the whole study material in an ebook form along with the test and previous papers. You can send in your work, so there is an interaction with the faculty also in terms of feedback or any kind of query. And the recorded sessions, as I said earlier, even they are available. Coming to the syllabus covered, so when we talk about all the design institutes exams, so apart from IIT UC, creative part is covered in all the papers. So when we say creative, it means the syllabus is how can you be creative, the first part. So that is, you have to learn on idea generation as to how can ideas be generated. So there are a lot of exercises like mind mapping and brainstorming. I'll give you an example of this. While we were doing our sessions, we used to get very good answers from the students during the physical sessions that we were doing. If I give you a pen lid, what else can you use the pen lid for? Can we have the students' responses? A pen lid. A pen lid is a pen cap in a layman word. So if you have a pen lid, what else you could use it for? Apart from being just
Ma'am,
the
we
lid.
can use it for whistling.
Great.
Ma'am, paper holding.
Paper holding, yes.
We can use it for making toys.
Making
Toys.
toys, okay. So there's nothing right or wrong in these answers. It is how can you visualize the pen cap. You can visualize it, maybe it's size going 50 times more or 100 times more, and you can still come up with an idea. It could be a shelter place, right? If I increase its size to say 100 times, it could be a shelter space for people to stand while it is raining or it is so sunny. So these kind of techniques will help you in coming up with ideas, because we were never exploring the pen lid, right? So our exploration had gone to whistling, yes, in the class. Our exploration had gone to, I would say, poking our friends with its tip. How many people have done that?
Mama.
Great. So somebody is ready to accept. That's really nice to see. So you are exploring. So why is it so that you are exploring? Because you are there in your classroom. So where the faculty is teaching, but your mind needs something. And then it starts exploring. So at home, you'll find a lot of time when you're studying, you'll keep on exploring with the things that are there around you. But we have to get it into practice when we say open up your brains. So you have to pick up things that are around you and think, okay, what else I can do it. So it is very helpful in coming up with better ideas next time when you are designing. Then we move to elements and principles of design that talks about lines, shapes, colors, and then we cover a lot of creative based questions, because it is not a fixed thing that you'll always have posters only as they were coming 10 years back. Then it shifted to products also. Now we had a question on comic strip also. So you can have questions from any area. Now when we are talking about drawing, now why are we teaching drawing? Because I told you that they are not looking for artists, but they're looking for observant people who are noticing things around. So are you able to draw the things that are around you in a correct proportion? So that is what is being checked up. The question when it's coming to draw a composition, so the idea of seeing a question on composition is whether the student is clear with all the objects proportion to each other. Two, from which perspective has the student made the composition? Is it something nice, interesting? Because if the question is like, say, of a draw a composition of a bus stop scene. Now, bus stops are very similar. So imagine how so many students drawing the same style of bus stop. So how differently can you think? Can you maybe come up with an idea of bus stop of, say, 2100? And that could be your question. So that would again be very different. Or a bus stop from a point of view of a driver while the passengers are boarding in the bus. So in these questions, you have to have an approach, a different approach while you are doing the questions. The 3D drawing that we are doing is related to what you learn in engineering drawing also, development of surface, 3D objects, orthographic views. So because these kind of questions are asked in your analytical based questions also. And on English, we are not giving classes because the students are not needing. So they are expected to learn the whole English vocabulary part. So if you're in a habit of reading, that's something that would help you to have a good vocabulary. So for the kids, those who are in grade 9th and 10th, I would tell them, please start with your reading habit again. You might have missed it because of your academic pressure, but that is something that will actually help you in a lot of competitive exam. And when you read, jot down difficult words that you are going through and mark their meanings, and ensure that you start using them in your day-to-day life. And after that, there'll be no use of point of cramming these vocabulary words for any competitive exam. But that is a foundation that has to be done prior. Maths is your quantitative ability, that's from your grade 6 to 8th. Logic is your analytical ability, which you guys are very well aware of, I must say. And GK is your current affairs. We have already told you. So at our online e-learning, the whole GK content is actually updated there. And in certain institutes like NID, you do have a question on history of art also. So that is about a lot of artists and the major art movement. The students also pick up fine arts in grade 11th and 12th. You'll find the similar syllabus in your course textbooks also. Now, to sum up, where I would say that all these institutes, they are looking at your creativity, your visualization, and your problem solving. So your design-based questions, they cater to your problem-solving approach. Like a question is on, say, designing of a bag for a working lady. So you'll have to first identify what are the problems that a working lady would have in her bag, or what are the solutions that she's looking in her bag. So once you're clear with those, you would be able to design a bag perfectly well. Because they are not just looking for a stylish bag, they're looking for a product that is giving you utility also. Coming to the style of questions asked, so as I said, in the observation, it is your perspective also, proportion also to each other. So you can have a question on human to human. So it could be draw a mother with a crying child. Human to animal, it could be a question on draw an adult with a dog at morning 9 a.m. Now, if they've said morning 9 a.m., what is so significant? What are they looking at in this question? Would anybody like to answer? What difference would be there at morning 9 a.m. in your drawing sheet? So at
Color of
9,
the sky,
Sun and
people
moon.
jogging on the road.
somebody can jog in the evening also, actually. But what's so significant at morning 9 a.m.? You'll have to think
Some
around
people
that.
will be rushing towards their office.
Evening, they'll be rushing back.
Empty
So how
roads.
do you empty roads?
Color of the
They might
sky.
Bright
be
sky.
empty at sorry, bright
Bright
sky.
sky.
Okay, so now think around that. You're there at the right part. So what is there in the sky at morning 9 a.m.?
Ma'am, sun.
What? Sun. So at
Sun.
9 a.m. when the sun is there, the shadow pattern would be fixed at 9 a.m. and that shadow pattern will change when the time will change, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
they are looking
Yes,
at
ma'am.
that thought of yours. So at NID, they go into very detail. So you'll find the paper very simple. Oh, it was just, I had to just draw a adult and an animal, and I drew a dog, which I had practiced a lot. And 9 a.m. I just, so the thoughts that were coming, that because those would be the first thoughts. So in design, you have to always come up to your later thoughts. You have to eradicate the first thoughts because a lot of students would be having those first thoughts. So to be more different, you'll have to come up with those the later thoughts that are coming to your mind. So shadow pattern is at 9 a.m. is something that would be different at any other part of the time. So if you have tried to make that, that will get you marks. Then your question on human to object, like a newspaper vendor with a bicycle, that's something that we are seeing daily. But are we clear on the proportion? That is what they're looking at. So process making exercises also have been asked, composition have been asked. Then there could be a question on your entering skills also. Like you compose and 3-4 objects. It could be a wooden mug, it could be a glass bottle, it could be a metal, steel, stainless steel glass. So here they are checking up on your rendering. Now the same rendering question they can give you like uh, show a glass half full of water with a metal steel spoon inside it. Right? Now, what elements do you need to be very careful while you are doing it? So as you notice, while the spoon is there in the water, half of the spoon, the point where it goes in the water, there would be a refraction happening, right? So what happens with that? There's always a tilt, right? And the part of the spoon that's inside the water, the size would appear bigger as compared to the one that's outside. So so these style of questions are not much asked in NIF, but yes, you can expect them in NID. NID goes all the more difficult because in your NID exam, as we discussed, it's just one paper, design ability test. The weightage is only 30%. But in those 3 hours, you would be given a lot of questions. They could be related to your creative thinking also. It could be on your observation also. They would be on your elements, principles of design also, and they would be on your creative writing also. Plus there would be few questions on your logical part also. So you'll have to complete up all those things in 3 hours. You'll really need to be very quick in coming to thoughts and even to execution of these works. So we here at Trends Academy, now you can see my picture also. So we are helping students to crack this exam, and we've been doing it since 2003. And I had been personally been with all the students since that time. So where I would say we know as what is the content that these institutes they are looking at. So when we look into the students' work, we are able to tell that very clearly. That is it the work that they are looking at, or we are able to tell you as to what is the improvement you really want to do. So in our assignments and the submissions what the students they give, we very clearly mark it. So if somebody is getting an A plus grade, that means you've got a caliber to crack through. But if your score is low, that means you have to improve one. I hope everyone is clear about the design institutes now and on their exams, pattern, everything. Is there anything that you would like to ask? Is there anything that you would like to ask? Sorry, my camera has shifted a little.
No, ma'am.
Okay. No doubts?
Yes, ma'am. I have a doubt.
Okay.
I would like to ask what are the basic requirements for becoming an animator?
Okay. So when we are looking into the animation line, is there somebody who's okay? When we are looking into the animator line, what you should start doing right away is sketch. You have to sketch a lot for animation, and you have to sketch in the complete movement. That is very well required. And obviously there are a lot of softwares that you'll learn gradually in the course program that will help you in your animation line. But to get through the institutes like NID, and especially for the animation in your course curriculum also, you would be asked to sketch. And your institutes, what you can target is IIT also, they have a digital design program, and you can target NID also. But you're in which grade, 9th or 10th?
9.
You're in 9th grade. Great. So at this time, start sketching. You should have one doodle book. We call it a doodle book. It's a small sketchbook that you can always have. And whether you're watching a TV or you're chatting, ensure that you're just scribbling something. Scribbling in the sense, quick drawing. So where you are taking up, and it could be even how your parents are, like, say, sitting. So even that could be a drawing that you can do, and that would actually help you a lot. And my number I had already shared, it was there on the screen also. You can have it from your teachers
Can you
also.
please show it again?
You want to see that again?
Okay.
Okay. So the first mobile number, that's mine. This one,
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
9811035589. That's my mobile number. So you can sketch, and you can share your work with me also. So the idea is these ninth, on even in your grade 10th, I'll not tell you to join our classes, because I want you to work on the basics yourself. So you have to start your drawing part and keep on sharing, and I can guide you personally on that front. Any other
Okay,
student
ma'am.
who has a question or a doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
please.
so what would be the right time to join a coaching institute? Trends or any else?
Okay, see, 11th is the right time to join formally a coaching institute. The idea is that in grade 11th, though your academic syllabus is on a tougher side, but I would say mentally you are more relaxed. So you're able to give in time for that, and you can complete up your syllabus that's required to finish. And then your 12th, you can concentrate on your academic also, being the board year. But gradually you would have time to improve, because as an institute we take fixed time to introduce the concepts to the students, but every student has their own level. So if your level is good, I would say then our focus would be to get you into a top ranker with these 2 years of practice. But if your level is really not that great, then our focus would be that we would want you to at least crack the exam, if not a top ranker. And these years, 9th and 10th, you can spend into drawing sessions. So where you can just practice more of drawing, you can always share those drawings with me, and I can help you on that. If you need instructors to teach you drawing. Yes, we have a team who can teach students during 9th and 10th also. But my personal suggestion is to first start doing this on your own, because the drawing instructor will always introduce a concept to you, but till you draw those things on your own, you can't be thorough with that. Any other student? Anybody
Thank
here
you,
who's
ma'am.
interested for fashion also? Because I see a lot of students are aiming for fashion generally in design.
Ma'am, me, I am interested.
You're interested. Can I have your name, please?
Tushar.
Tushar. So Tushar, if you're interested in fashion, start making your design catalog. So when I say design catalog, it could be your digital catalog also. So where you have pinned down all the interesting things that you see, whatever that excites you, keep those things in that catalog, and that will actually help you see how you are growing also. And you can start sketching also, you can make your own designs also right at this stage, because a lot of institutes, portfolio is not required at NIFT, But a lot of institutes, they look into portfolio also while selection. So all these material would be very helpful at that time.
Okay, ma'am. And one more question I would like to ask
Hmm.
that if I'm not able to clear the entrance exam at first, then how many attempts do I have?
It's the age limit. So NID, the age limit is say for 3 or 4 years, but and NIFT has it for a good lot years. But then yes, it is up to you to think whether you want to make multiple attempts or would you like to join the next best institute that you can look at. So our idea always is that the students should start preparation, their preparation early. The idea is you don't need to then drop a year. And while you are prepared in your 11th, you can sit in for the exam. Though you're not eligible, you can sit in for the exam and see what's your score and where you are faring. So that will give you a clear idea on your level also.
Okay, thanks a
Excuse me,
lot,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Ma'am, what can be the problems we face during placements so that we can work on them now?
Okay. Uh, the major problem what a lot of students they face is their inflexible approach, I would say. So when I say inflexible approach, unflexible approach, I would be like where they are very rigid in their thoughts, so they don't want to change on their thoughts, and where they are not open to suggestions and ideas. So that's the first thing, that you should be ready to make a change amongst you. Even if you are very strongly convinced of a particular thing, listen to the thoughts that are coming. I'm not saying do what the others are telling you, but you should be listening to them. And that is the first thing. Then the second thing is the hard work. And normally, what happens is that in the design institutes, you of your last semester, that's a 6 month as your internship time. So where you are working with a company and you are using their resources, and then you're making your own collection. So it could vary if you have joined any, say, fashion designer, or if you have joined any export house. So you'll be making those things. And in these design collections, now what happens while you are interacting with the workers there, or you are interacting with the higher management team there, people tend to know about your level as to what is your work culture. Are you helpful? Are you open? Are you able to wait? Because obviously not everybody would be free there to provide you with resources. So if you have those kind of skills, where I would say people management skills, that actually helps you a lot in these lines also. And then obviously if you're good in your design, people would want you to work for their company.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other student?
I
If
hope
anyone
now.
has a doubt, you can please ask ma'am.
Ma'am, I
Excuse me,
am
ma'am.
having a doubt.
Ma'am, I'm Sudhanshu Shekhar.
You'll have to speak a bit louder, please.
Ojasvi, you may ask your doubt.
Okay. Ma'am, I have a doubt that are there some particular universities for the course of designing?
Yes, in the presentation, I had talked about the government institutes. I hope my voice is audible. It seems like the signal is lagging a little bit.
Ma'am, you are audible.
I'm
Great.
audible.
Okay. So when you are in the session, I talked about the government institutes. I had talked about NID, NIFT, and IIT. They are the one who are offering design programs, and then we have private institutes also, from where you can study design.
Okay,
So
ma'am. Thank you,
when you're
ma'am.
talking about universities, were you checking on the government one? Okay.
Sudhanshu, would you like to ask anything?
I hope now many more students would be inspired to pursue design as a career. Yes, thank you,
I'm
ma'am.
sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now, this session will be available on school's YouTube channel also. And finally, I will invite Tushar to conclude the session with a parting note.
Yes, ma'am. With this, we have come to an
Tushar.
end of today's wonderful session. Before that, I would like to take this opportunity to record my heartfelt thanks to Miss Meenakshi. Ma'am, you have flourished our knowledge in the field of fashion, and it will definitely help us in framing our future path. I, on behalf of all the students as well as DLDAV Shalimar Bagh, thank you as well as Trends Academy for your precious time. Now the end is here. But before that, to keep today's wonderful day in our memories, I request all the students and Monica ma'am as well to please switch on their cameras for a group photograph.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thanks. Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am, for such a wonderful session. It was, in fact, interactive session. I hope students also liked it.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
it was my pleasure to be on the stage here with them. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Okay, we can leave now.